Back with Real Talk with Brian and Dan, Eastside Real Estate Team, Keller Williams Bellevue, and Dan is going to introduce Michael Abrahamson.
All right, so Michael Abrahamson here with Rainier Title works as an account manager. He's been in the real estate industry since 2001 and is currently calling on real estate offices here on the East Side. He's also a continuing education clock hours instructor and licensed notary. He loves to do what he loves most about his job is the relationships that he builds with real estate agents and loan officers and the classes that he gets to teach. Please welcome to the show, Michael Abrahamson. Michael, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to be here.
You're a pro now. I think you've been on a few radio stations, right?
I've been on a couple of times, but I still get nervous. Bear with me.
All right, we'll do our best. So before we get into the business side of things, I already let the cat out of the bag. You're also a golfer. What else? What else do you do?
I am a golfer. So when I'm not golfing, so I'm married. I have a 23-year-old daughter as well. So my wife and I try to spend as much time as we can with her when she's not working. So I like to do the family thing when I'm not playing golf.
Awesome. Let's see. Oh, okay.
So,
on you.
Well, just a little side note. I tried golf once. On the third hole, they told me I'm supposed to set the bag down when I hit the ball. So that was the end of the line for me.
That's funny.
So
they waited till the third hole.
Yeah. So anything besides golf when you're not doing the family thing? What do you like to do?
Well, not really. I mean, all my family lives here, so if I'm not with my wife and daughter, we're usually doing something with my sister, my parents, or we keep it in the family. So or friends,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same question we've asked all of our guests. If you go back to your childhood, you think about the home that you grew up in, what's a fond memory that you'd like to share with the audience here?
Well, I have a couple of them, actually. One, because I've been thinking about this. One of them is I always remember when I was little that we would always eat dinner as a family, which is something I do now with my family. Thank gosh for that, because I love that. The other thing is more of the neighborhood. I remember just playing with every single kid in the neighborhood. It was either kick the can or we're playing soccer in the backyard or we're over at someone's home, all in the pool together. So just the community and the neighborhood, what closeness that brought.
What neighborhood did you grow up in?
That was in Ballard.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah.
So let's get down to it. What is title insurance?
What is title insurance? So title insurance is so much fun to talk about. But it is an insurance policy that people have on real property. So there's three kinds of insurances people usually purchase when they get a home. So there's going to be an owner's policy for title. There's going to be a lender's policy. And then there's a homeowner's insurance policy that people buy. That has nothing to do with title. And people often get confused about the homeowner's policy, the insurance policy. So to cover that really quick, homeowner's insurance policy is something that you buy for everything in the future. So if your home burns down or you get robbed or something like that happens in the future, you're going to be covered by insurance. That's something you get like through Allstate or Progressive, whatever they're buying. And you pay for that monthly. Title insurance is something you pay once when you purchase the home, and it covers everything that's happened to your home in the past. I mean, that's the easiest way I can explain it. So no one can come knocking on your door after you've moved in 3 months and say, hey, we fixed that roof 3 years ago and the old sellers never paid me, so now you owe me $25,000. Title insurance covers that.
Gotcha. So one-time premium up front and then you're done. Is that right? Yep.
Yes. So there's, and one of the things is people don't understand who pays for it. So the two policies, the owner's policy is actually going to be purchased by the sellers for the new buyer just to put a clean title on their new property. And what the buyers are going to purchase, they're going to purchase a lender's policy, which is going to be the amount of the loan that they lend. Obviously, if they pay all cash, there is no lender's policy.
Okay. Now, does every house have to have title insurance?
It doesn't have to have it, but yes, it protects you to have it. So
you could actually purchase a home and not purchase title insurance. But
yes, you can.
Why would you?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, if you have a loan, you have to because a lender requires it.
I see.
But yeah, you can do it. I mean, the same with inspections. People were waiving titles.
One instance that I had, I've been doing 13 years. Brian's been doing, so he may have a few more instances that have come up during title. But I had one where a couple bought a home out of foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, bank-owned home, and they bought the simple version of the title. They didn't buy the standard version. And as they were getting ready to flip this home and go back on the market, boom, out came a lawsuit claiming ownership of that home. And they couldn't do anything for selling that home until the title company came out. Now, the title company did a great job. They got out there right away. The guy that showed up had a big, thick stack of papers with little sticky notes in, and he said he read it on the plane. I said, "You are definitely a title lawyer." Okay, but that's the one time that I've had an issue come up. But I'm sure that every probably week there's some kind of thing that goes on that we just don't hear about, right?
Right. I mean, it actually happens all the time where I've seen people and heard stories where anyone can go down and slap a lien on your home. They can just go down to county and say, "Hey, this person owes me $10,000, put a lien on their property." Anyone can do that. However, it's not until you go to court until they have to prove that you owe them that $10,000. So we see that kind of stuff come up all the time in title. Just not that, but judgments, liens, encumbrances, encroachments. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can pop up on your title that people just aren't aware of, and they're not educated about it.
So getting a little technical on you here, does your company offer a homeowner's endorsement? And if so, what's the difference between a standard and a homeowner's endorsement?
Well, the standard is going to cover, like, you mean the extended policy?
No, I see what I call a homeowner's endorsement that just covers a few more things, a little bit more money, but not as much as an extended policy.
Well, okay, so we have an owner's policy and then we have an extended policy. So
Okay,
it sounds
sure.
like you're talking about our extended policy.
Okay, well, tell us about that.
And that's usually put on properties that are tough to see where the boundary lines are. So it might be waterfront property or big farmland. And what that requires is a survey. So we'll send a surveyor out there. So it's a little extra money to pay for that surveyor.
I see builders doing that extended policy when they need to do a subplat or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody always introduce you as Michael Abrahamson with Rainier Title and Escrow. So then what's the escrow? We've talked about the title. What's the escrow?
Okay, so escrow is actually a place where the buyers and sellers send all of their paperwork to and all their monies, and the escrow is going to take care of that and put it all together, and then put your money away in an escrow account. And when it closes, they're going to disperse it however the buyers and sellers want. So that's what an escrow company does. We have an LPO. So I know your next question is, what's an LPO?
No, could you just answer it for us? Jeez, do some of our work here.
Well, an LPO is a limited practitioner officer where they are actually state licensed to put together this paperwork for buyers and sellers, and they bring everyone together and do exactly what the purchase and sale says. So we'll get calls a lot. So that's my team. So my team goes in there and they get calls from people saying, "Hey, I really don't want to spend this much money on the inspections. Can you change it?" And some of the buyers or sellers aren't aware that they have to come together as one and come into agreements. So an LPO is a third-party entity that works for the buyers and the sellers and also works with the lender to bring everything together for you so everybody complies to what they say they're going to do and close everything and make sure everyone's happy at the end. So that's what an LPO does.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Well, yeah, so that in a very short nutshell, we could probably get more in the weeds, but in a short nutshell is what title and escrow. And Michael, I really appreciate you coming in and doing that for us. Before we go, though, it looks like we have about another 30 seconds or so.
Okay.
Do you have a quick story about escrow solving a great problem?
Escrow solving a great problem. Well, usually escrow is the one who gets yelled at by everybody. So I do respect the heck out of the LPO closers, but just them calming people down when they need to calm them down, because like I said, when people call escrow, they're usually upset about something because something's not being done, even though it's not escrow's fault. They're the ones getting yelled at it. So them to bring people together to calm them down and be in a place where they can take that screaming and still come from a place of respect and getting you to calm down. I mean, that stuff happens every day to them. So I hold my highest regard to them just for what they do and how they do it.
So how do our listeners get a hold of you?
www.rainiertitle.com. You can get a hold of any of the account managers on there, or you can call me direct at 425-518-3044.
All right.
Great.
Well, after the break, we're going to talk listings launched and some events coming up this weekend. So come right back after the break.